All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shemel, Shabbat, Shemer Kakodash. Double honor to the apostle that is a great millstone. Shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, I just want to do this do a quick lesson on this term Moor. You know, us brothers at Great Millstone, we look up words. You know, we go into the etymology, the root words, where they originate, how they started to become popularized in history. You know, how they got superimposed on certain nations from other nations, and you know how, like, apostles always speak up. Apostle Gabar particularly speaks about newspeak. There's a lot of newspeak where you'll hear the term in today's time, and you think that you're these people, you know, or in reference to newspeak, you'll hear certain terms and you'll be mixed up in the language of things because of how words have progressively transformed through time. But nonetheless, you know, I could give examples, but I want to just dive right into it. So this is the etymology of the term Moor. The etymology of the word Moor is uncertain, although it can be traced back to the Phoenicians' term Mohuran, meaning Westerners. From Muhuran, the ancient Greek derived mudo, from which Latin derives murai. The word Moor is presumably of Phoenician origin. Some sources attribute a Hebrew origin to the word. Yeah, so the Phoenicians are written within the scriptures, and it speaks about Hebrew origin. You know, so these guys that really be kind of running around speaking about we're actually truly Moors by nation, that's not a true nationality. Because when you go into the scriptures, when the Most High, going into the genesis of things, when the Lord established nations, there was never a nation called Moor. You know, later on in history that became prominent. Let me get it. But when you go into the true origin of our people, we're Israelites. All right. And we come from different tribes of the nation of Israel, which Israel was a man who was Jacob, and his name was changed after he wrestled the angel. You have the patriarch, which his forefather was Isaac, which his forefather was Abraham. And I want to bring this point out in Genesis 14 and 13. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew. All right, which the word Hebrew goes back to the word Ibar, which means from the past. Ibar was an actual man, you know, and his origin, when you go all the way back, goes back to Adam. All right, Adam had two sons. He had Cain and Abel. Abel died. And then you had Seth, which the seed line of Abraham, Ibar, as well as Israel, came through the line of Seth. So that's why it's important to look up these terms and know your true origin. Because I was just not talking to, you know, a Jake I knew from back in the world. We've been knowing each other since kids, and we still converse here and there. You know, he always wants, you know, he has this thought process, and, you know, I stand on business, of course, you know, but he, you know, it ain't never no real malicious talk, but he just kind of like a lost Jake to be, you know, he going to a lot of stuff that's like how these online Jakes, you know, they know we the chosen and all these things, but they still grasping the air. But I always pinpoint, no, we're Israelites, bro. You know, it's not that deep. We're Israelites. That's not the tricky part of this life. You don't have to keep dwelling on it. You know, scriptures speak about how my people go from mountain to hill. You know, it's simple. The Lord gave us the reference, which is the Holy Bible, and he gave us the words. And the Most High set up prophets, teachers, and ministers to teach this word. You know, so this is Genesis 14:13, and there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew. For he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Abraham. So Abraham, whose name was before was Abram, which is Abaram, exalted father. Ram is origin of Ram is pretty much exalted or head. His name was changed to Abraham, father of a multitude. So he was known as a Hebrew. All right. So I just wanted to bring that point out, just make it short, sweet, low, and I might come up with a few more of these, the origin of words, because you got to know these words to know what you're talking about. So with that, I'm going to end it by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Shema, Rashah, Shem, Double honor to the apostle and others, great millstone. Shalom, Akim.